Hi everyone. So we are going to take a look at how to put cams and camshafts and pusher rods into our boxes. Now, in the case that you did not do either the box assembly or the cams as previously assigned, um, I don't want to triple penalize you. I want you to still be able to do this project even if you missed one of the previous projects just mentioned. So the first thing I'm going to start with is importing the box and cams from Schoology if you haven't done them. If you have done them, well, then you're good to go because you just saw the previous video and you're ready to rock and roll, but we'll pick it up in just a minute for everybody. But if you have not done them previously, if you're not working with your own files, go into today's folder. It's either Monday or Tuesday, depending on which course you're in. I'm going to choose Monday, and I've put a box assembly step file here. Okay, so I'm going to click on this to download it. And I am now, I think I maybe have to click it a second time. Yeah, here it is. I just had to click on that a second time, and it's a small file, and it just went to my downloads folder. Okay, so I just downloaded that to my downloads folder. I am now going to just go back. You don't have to do that part. I am going to go to my documents. I'm going to pretend this isn't here. I'm going to pretend I have not done this project yet. And so I'm going to create, if I have not done the cams or the box, I'm going to create a document, and I'm going to call it box with cams, or some such. Box with cams, right? And I'm going to hit OK. So it's a new document, and what are we going to do with this document? Well, the first thing we're going to do is import that thing we just downloaded off Schoology. So there it is. It's in my downloads folder. I'm going to hit OK, open up. And I'm just going to hit OK and the defaults, and that's going to tell me all sorts of messages, and I'm going to say fabulous. And Part Studio 1 is still blank. That's because it's a new folder. But here's our box assembly and the parts and all the rest, right? I'm just going to delete this one because I'm not working on it. Actually, yeah, we'll start there. We'll delete there. So here's the box assembly. Hopefully it's in good order still. Yep, just as I left it. So you either have this or you have just imported this. Now there's all the parts. There's the I don't know what that is. Oh, that's just the assembly from the previous file. We don't need that from the opening up of the new file. And so here's our box assembly. Now we do need a couple more pieces here. So everybody, the next thing you do is create a new part studio. And let's call this one, let's get in good habits and rename them as we go. Let's call this one Camshaft. This will be one of the easiest drawings you've done yet, because all you have to do is choose any old plane. Let's look right at it and sketch on it. And let's draw a 1/4 inch dowel, 0.25 inches in diameter. And our boxes are 5 inches wide, so let's make this 7 inches. Right? So let's just extrude that to 7 inches. Right? So there's my camshaft. I want it to be a beautiful color, so I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to go over to these colors over here, and I'm going to turn it. I think I'm feeling like it should be purple. I'm clicking on the color there. I'm waiting for it to open up. Try it again. It's not going. I double-clicked it. Sorry, I double-clicked it that time. It opened. Let's choose a purple. Choose whatever color you want. And then to close this down, well, I have to accept it. And then to close it down, I just hit that again. So now I've got a purple 1/4 inch camshaft. We'll be using that in a second. And why don't we wait on the pusher rods? Let's just do the camshaft for now. We'll wait on the rods. So I'm going back to my box assembly, and you may have just imported this, or you have imported your cams into this folder as previously instructed. And one more insertion here. I'm going to insert the camshaft. I'm going to put it. That looks really big. I'm going to make sure that's 1/4 inch. That does not look like 1/4 inch to me. It looks fat. I'm going to go check that. Sketch 1. Edit. Look right at it. What is this thing? I'm going to choose my dimension tool and I guess I'd never changed that, 0.25. I was right, it did look too big. There we go. That'll be the right size. I don't know what happened to the previous one. I guess I just didn't finish it out. But that's probably better. Let's take a look now. Oops. Okay, box assembly. There it is. That looks much more like the right size to me. Okay. I have old habits, and they're probably not necessary, but I like to line stuff up just because it also helps me from getting confused. I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees. I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to rotate this 90. I'm going to do the same thing to this one over here. Just so everything's all lined up like I want it to be. Okay, this goes pretty quickly. If you're all set, it goes pretty quickly here. So what we're going to do is we are going to use something called the revolution constraint. Actually, in this program, it's called the revolute mate. Right, the revolute mate. And so we want this to be inserted in those holes, but we don't want it to move back and forth or up and down, obviously, but we do want it to go around in circles, right? So we're going to use this mate right here, revolute, and I'm going to choose it. I'm going to zoom in and get that thing to light up. And I'm going to go up here to this hole, and I'm going to put it right there. Now, the only thing is this. Let's look where it is. It's sticking out of one end. I kind of want it equally spaced. So I'm going to offset it by an inch. Because I made it 7 inches, and our box is 5 inches wide. Let's see if that's the right axis. Yeah. This way there's a 1 inch, I guess this would be 5, and so then due to materials, this would probably be actually less than, probably about half an inch over here. But just get a little bit on either side. 1 inch, 1 inch would be fine here. Bonk, and now it's in place, and it can rotate, but it can't go anywhere else. Now these cams, I want the cams right under the holes, and the holes are 1.5 inches in from this face. No, that's not true. From this face, that's 1.5 inches in, because I went from the edge to here was 1.5 inches. So from here to the hole is 1.5 inches. So now we're going to use the fasten mate to fasten these to the axle. Make sure you're getting that central portion and put it right there. And it goes right up to the thing, right? But that's 1 inch out. So if I go 1 inch in, it's going to be right there. And then another 1.5 inches will bring it to here. So I think I want to go in 2.5 inches. Let's see if that's true. Let's see if I get this right. 2.5 on the z-axis. It's going to be negative. It's in the left direction. 2.5, negative 2.5. I'm just going to click here to see if that's about right. It's close. It's 1/8 less than 2.5. So it's 2 and so it's 2. It's not 2 4/8. It's 2 3/8, which is 2.375 inches. Negative 2.375. Let's see how that looks. Part of the reason I do all these colors is because now I can look right down that hole and I can see I'm right over that blue cam. Because what's underneath it is purple and that rusty orange color. If I wasn't right over the cam, I would see one of those other colors, but I see the blue of the cam, so I know I did that right. Now, one thing I want to check, because sometimes this is a little funky, is if the animation is working. And if it's not, I want to fix it before we go much farther. I'm going to go ahead and say that's acceptable, and I'm going to go to the revolution mate. I'm going to right-click it. I'm going to animate it, animate it, animate it, and just see if it rotates when I hit play. Good. I just want we'll take a closer look at that in a few minutes. Let's do the same thing to the other cam. All right, so fasten mate, center of the cam. Let's go to, gosh, I don't know, let's just go to this end here. I'm not really doing math. I'm not being that careful. I'm just being quick. And let's just see. Offset, z-axis is going to be positive well, 1.5, and I think that's an inch, but actually I don't. I think it's more like an inch and a half. Sorry, a little bit under an inch. So 2 inches, 2.375. I'll eat my hat if that's right. Good thing my hat's delicious. Oh man, it is a good thing my hat's delicious because oh phew, I don't have to eat my hat. Right, it's a little bit off. I've got to go another, well, half this material thickness. So not 2.375, but 2.5. 2.5. Let's try that. Ah, that just brought it halfway through. So that was an eighth. So 2.5 plus an eighth. So 2.5 plus an eighth is 2. 2.625? 2.625, I believe. 2.625. Zooming in on it. There it is. Yeah, okay. So now those are underneath. Oh, but they're in the same orientation. You don't want your things to go up and down at the same exact time. That's generally not how cams are used. I mean, it could be. Depends what your design is. But let's go back to offset. No, let's go back to our previous fastened to edit. Right, so that I like, but rotation angle, let's just do it, I don't know, 90 degrees out from the other one. 90 degrees angle. Oh boy, wrong axis. Undo that. Fastened, edit. I did it on the wrong axis here. Let's see. Rotate about X. No, we want to rotate about the Z axis. 90. And let's not accept this. Yeah, there we go. That's right. Now I've got my cams installed. And this is really cool. Check this out. I can go to the Revolute, I can right click it, and I can animate it. And start value is 0, end value is 360. So it's just going to go around once in 300 steps, and then it's going to flip. Let's just do it once. Right? And so this now should go around one full rotation and then stop. And there they go, 2 cams rotating. And when this gets back to this horizontal position, it should stop. There it goes. Right, so we can animate this thing. And we know that they're right over, the holes are right over the cams because we can see the blue right through their dead center. Right, so when we go ahead and next time put rods through these, pusher rods through those holes that the cams will push on and make them go up and down, we know that the cams and the rods will line up perfectly. Right, so there it is, a cam, 2 cams, 2 pair cams inserted in a box on a camshaft, ready to rock and roll. Okay, people, that's that for now. Nice work. Talk to you soon.